Yes. Okay. So have you had a good day so far?
I have, yeah. Yeah.
Good.
I woke up hungry this morning. So I stopped and got some breakfast after I dropped my son off at school, so
Mm.
that was nice before I started the day.
Mm. Do you not normally eat breakfast?
Um, Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. A lot of times I don't eat until like closer to lunchtime, but
Mm.
every once in a while I'll just wake up hungry.
Mm.
And then if I do that, I don't make myself wait to eat. I'll
Yeah.
eat. So I
Yeah.
figure when that happens, usually I didn't eat probably enough the day before.
Mm. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
And I'm
Okay.
like out of cooked food. I ate everything that was like prepared in my refrigerator yesterday. So I was like, oh man. I'm like, I gotta make some food. I was talking to my friend. I'm like, I gotta make some food. I'm like, but I got work all day today. And then I have a client tonight, so I probably won't get to, but now my client just canceled. So I guess I'll get to cook tonight.
There you go. Good. Okay. So tonight's lesson is how to create a sacred space. So I'm assuming you've done your protection and all that, and you're practicing that. Um,
I watched a video,
yeah.
but just recently. I haven't been like practicing that, but
Yeah.
it doesn't, I feel like I can do that.
Yeah, if you're going to journey, it's best to practice that because it gives you that protection. Because what we're going to do on this lesson is create a sacred space, and the sacred space is your hidden reality.
Okay.
So you'll create it in the mind and keep going there. And before we journey to the well, on your in your case, lower world to meet power animals, etc. We go via the sacred space, and that's your space. We don't
Okay.
tell anybody about it, the same as the cloak.
Just like the pockets and what's in the pockets and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. And sacred space is the same. You don't allow anything in there. Um,
Okay.
and that's your space. So it needs to be a hidden reality. It can be anywhere. You can create it like in a bedroom you've got, or inside a tree, or by a lake, or
Mm.
um, whatever you feel comfortable and grounded doing. Um,
Okay.
but it's like unique to you and you don't share it. That's the thing. And
Okay.
like I said, nobody's allowed to enter it at any time. Not even your power animals or anything like that. But
Okay.
once you know where your sacred space is, the practice is to reinforce your um, cloak and then go into your sacred space from there. So what I do is I reinforce my cloak and I then make it shimmer as it comes out as I've created it. Then it sort of shimmers there and becomes invisible and makes me invisible as well. And then I go into my sacred space and then I began building my sacred space as I went on. So I created it with where I was comfortable and grounded. And then I added to it. And because you add your own energy and your own elements to it, you could add for instance, a healing pool of water or maybe a campfire. Um, it can be like a very homely, safe environment for you. And it's what you're comfortable in a home or a space or whatever. You could be in, like I say, you could be inside a tree and it could be like you walk in to a tree and it opens out like this TARDIS and you've got or you might go into the tree and down a few steps or you go into the tree and you've got a space and then you may go down these steps into the lower world when you begin journeying. It's whatever you create and put together.
Okay.
And it's important that nothing enters it, not even, and I need to reiterate this, not even guides or power animals, just in case something's trying to be trick you and follow you in, because You lay down the rules that no one can enter it. But what we do is we create a waiting room. Okay, so inside your room is a waiting room, and you can sort of look through a window to see if anybody's in there. And then you've got a door that you lock because you've got a magic whatever that you lock and unlock the door to go in and meet those visitors. So for instance, interestingly enough, I once looked through my window and I saw Bear there, and Bear is one of my power animals, and Cat actually painting me a drum with a bear on it.
Okay.
And he was there with my drum and he was showing me the drum. And I said to Kat after, when I'd had that experience, I said, it was interesting. I said, because I looked in and Bear was in there and she said, oh, what was he doing in there? So I don't know. I went in, he didn't say a lot. He just showed me that drum, this drum. And she said, that's why he's getting impatient, look. And she's painted the outline of it and got it so far, but she hasn't finished it yet. She said he's wanting me to get it finished. And I said, oh, okay, so that's what he's telling you. I said, okay. So that was quite interesting. But when you create your space, a waiting room, it's a loving, peaceful area where people can sit. You might put settees in it or hammocks in it. You might want to put a coffee machine in it. You might put a fruit tree in it. You might put anything in it that would make anything feel comfortable that's sat in there waiting for you, because it could wait, because time, of course, is irrelevant in that space. So you might be in there and then 2 weeks later you go in and there's something sat there. But you
Okay.
can visit them anytime you wish in that space. So if anything,
Outside the entrance to the sacred space, is that
so
correct?
it's within your sacred space, but it's like a room within your sacred space with a window so you can see in, see if anybody's there. And then however you create the entrance, there's only you can lock it and unlock it.
Okay.
So what we need to do as well is protect your sacred space. So once you've created it, and this is before we do any work, once we've created it, you put a protective dome over the top of it. And that includes your waiting room. So everything's covered by this dome, and it can be absolutely any color that you want. It could be gold, orange, blue, pink, green, whatever you want, but try and avoid white, as this is very easy to get through, as we discussed before in the protective cloak video.
Okay.
You can use rainbow colors if you want. You could call up a dragon if you want to put a ring of fire around it. Whatever feels protective to you, but it's important that you put the intent in it that it's there to protect you and your space. So I'm creating this dome as a protection for me and my sacred space. Okay.
I know this is gonna sound like a dumb question, but I just had like this vision. Like, how do you get in and out of it without like breaking the dome?
Because I have you'll create a door going in, an entrance going in.
Okay.
So however you create it, you're creating an entrance going in, and then the dome sits on top of the entrance. So if you're, for instance, if you're, say you're in a tree, the dome can come all the way over the tree, but you create an entrance through the dome that again only you know. You can put a padlock on it if you want, or a key. And the key can go in your Pandora's pocket, and you can get it out every time you go in. The way I built my sacred space, it actually sits on top. It doesn't come all the way around it, it sits on top of it.
Okay.
So it's what you'll, when you begin putting it together, allow your awareness to do it. It sort of finds its own way, if you see what I mean.
Yep.
And then what you do is you just keep adding to it inside. But here's an interesting thing. When you've got your dome, on the top of it, it's so important, this needs to be a 6-pointed star, i.e. Star of David or a Merkaba. And this will act as a doorway, access to other realms for you to learn to journey. So, i.e. Like a portal. And it'll take you anywhere with intention, but it'll only take you when your guides feel that you're ready and able to do so.
Okay.
So, and it's important to make the note at this stage. I can send you this video, by the way, so you'll be able to go over it.
Okay.
What I do is I'll put it up on YouTube, and I'll send you an unlisted link, so only people with the link can see it.
Okay.
It's important that when we're journeying, we don't ever journey beyond our capabilities or interact with energies that we don't understand. And part of this is to train us to understand that there are negative forces out there that can actually affect us in human form. And as it happens, my lessons have been teaching me that just lately, that when I've been journeying, working with people, a couple of things has happened over different journeys, and it's like, whoa, okay. And I've been fine, but there were lessons to teach me how things can show up.
Okay.
I'm doing deep journeying. When we get to your journey, the first one, which will be just for your power animal, I'll teach you how to do that. You won't have any trouble with power animals and things like that, because I can explain to you how that works. So, but you just need to be aware that there are negative forces out there. So if anything unusual comes in when you're journeying or you're in your sacred space, give it love and ask it to leave. Okay, because it's not meant to be there. Okay, you probably won't, but I'm just need to make you aware of that point. Because you've got to be aware that we have to understand the duality of the positive energies and the negative energies. And because we're doing this, it doesn't make us shamans, quote unquote. We just use, or a shamanic practitioner. What we're doing is we are just using shamanic, what's the word? Just hang on. We're using core shamanism teachings to learn to journey, okay? And it helps you find with it, because a shaman, as you know, they're born with sight, the same as Kat, who I work with. She was born with sight. She's been trained to journey, and she's like, her job is to teach me. And then,
oh, when you start, if you're going somewhere that you shouldn't be going, like that you're not.
oh, I do go places that I'm not meant to go, but I'm on a different journey, if you see what I mean. Kat, when she saw the video and we worked with you, she said, oh, teach, there's one or two of you, just teach them how to journey, how to power animal, and how to find the spirit guides. Okay, after that, she'll tell me if I need to take you any further, or it'll just be that that's where you need to be at this stage. Because you see, depends where your gifts are and what begins to unfold. I didn't know that I can ask spirit to journey me into somebody's energy, and it doesn't mean say, and like Kat's, what she does is very different to me and a lot more advanced and powerful than what I do, because she's been doing it donkey's years. And
Yeah.
I don't get attached to what, or I try not to get attached to what she does. And what I do is she guides me, and then I go with spirit. But what happens is, as spirit's guiding me and I'm journeying, they've been showing me negative forces or energy, if you like, within that journey and how it can show up. And they've sort of been tricking me. But I know how to find out if I'm meant to go any further or not. And so that's where I am. So that's but that's very different, far, far further on from where you are, because I've been crash coursed into this, and 12 months down the road, I'm still crash coursed into it, and it's pretty intense what I'm doing. But for your purposes, we're just teaching you, but you need to be aware that when you journey, if anything pops in when you're journeying and you don't understand it, don't go with it.
Yeah.
Okay. And just, oh, okay, nice to see you, and just keep going with your power animals or whatever we're doing at that time. And once you do that and you go in and out and you get used to your space,
Go ahead.
once you go in and out and you get used to your space, and then you journey to find your power animals. And when we journey, it's an amazing, beautiful thing we do when we journey to find power animals. And you can go and visit them and they'll protect you. And there's nothing ever pops up in that space that causes you a problem normally. But for instance, if all of a sudden you go down there, you've been visiting your power animals quite regularly, and then all of a sudden there's a man pops up down there, just ask him to leave. And they have to do what you tell them to do. And they also can't lie to you either. So you can ask, are you here with love and light? Or are you here, yes or no? That's the easiest way. And if you don't get an answer or get a no, ask them to move on. But we'll get on to that later on. That's when we're doing power animals. So don't let that worry you. We cover all that. So, but it's important that you understand what the principles are. And the teachings I'm teaching you, spirit will only allow you to go where your journey goes. They'll only allow you to go within your capabilities. That's why I'm saying, once you've done power animals, if I'm then told, yeah, take her to find a guides, and then when you find your guides, they may say, oh, okay, teach her how to journey. Or they may just say no, and it might be you say, no, I don't want to journey any further, I'm quite happy where I am. Then that's fine. It's how, when you begin to do it, it's a bit like using your awareness. When you begin to play with it, other things will open up or they won't. But spirit will not allow you to go into places that you're not meant to go. With me, they're allowing me to go into places where I'm not meant to go as lessons, because my journey is going to be quite different in the future. I'm in effect going to be using these skills to help people and heal them in various different ways. A bit like what happened in Colombia, I suppose. So, and that was a catalyst. I think it was anyway. I think this also opened it up. But as you begin to understand these teachings, and whatever unfolds, you end up with a lovely insight. So when you get into build your sacred space, really enjoy it. You'll make it as beautiful and relaxing. You can put flowers in it. You can do what you want with it. Whatever you feel, for you, I would imagine it'll be forests and water you've got in there. But whatever you feel is amazing, then just go with it. But you can add to it. Like, for instance, I added a fountain with angel water coming out of it. So, and I added that in, and then I added various other things in, and you can add what you want because you're in a realm where you can put in what you want and take out what you want, just at will. And the more you journey into it and you go through the door and you lock the door and you go in, the stronger that space becomes. But
Okay.
it's important that you put your cloak on before you go.
Okay.
Okay. So that's it really. That's your homework. It'll give you but enjoy building your space. You can have flowers, like I said, or trees or anything that connects with nature, anything that you want in there, just put it in and enjoy it.
Okay.
But avoid like animals and insects and things like that. Anything that's a being, an energy that moves, because it's your sacred space and there's nothing else meant to be in there except you. You can have flowers and that sort of energy, but energy that moves, you don't want that because you don't know what that's about. You could have a fruit tree. You could have loads of fruit trees.
Okay.
So once you've done that, I'm going on holiday for a couple of weeks now into the sunshine and looking forward to it. So once I come back, we'll give it another probably week, but so give it 3 weeks now, and then you can just practice it and create your space. And then if you're quite happy with it and where you are and you want to go and learn to journey to find your power animals, that's the next lesson if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah, okay, great. Good.
I'll just kind of change this and add this into my morning routine that I do, like with meditation and stuff before I get out of bed, like once I wake up, but before I like get up.
Yeah, okay. I'll stop